Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm Ray Orsini, and joining me is Mr. Jason Yell at Cloud Slagle. How you doing, brother?
Oh, what's up? I'm good. How about you?
I'm here.
Like
We're
it's
not
been a
at Red
while.
Boom. We're not in Chicago.
Yeah.
So,
No, no, I am glad to be home for this week, and then next week it's spring break, and I'm gone again for the week. So, yeah.
yeah. Where you off to in after spring break?
Uh, well, I mean, spring break Seaverville. We're going to near Gatlinburg. Wanted some
Okay.
drive to flights to Florida. We usually go to Florida. The flights are
Mhm.
stupid right now.
Yeah, I don't recommend going to Florida. I try to avoid it at all costs.
Yeah.
Because it's home.
Yeah.
But I saw you, you saw me,
Yeah.
and we also saw this guy, Mr. John Hammond. Oh wait, not John Hammond, Mr. Brandon Martinez of eTop Technology. How you doing, dude?
Hey, good. Happy to be on the show.
Yeah, no, happy to have you, man. I mean, it's nice. We wanted to have you on. I mean, because you're always posting in there. You've been on your personal journey, very, very inspiring, I guess is the word. Yeah, just we thought it would be cool to have you on because that's the whole point, right? Getting shit done
Yep.
and going through regardless of how what kind of day you're having.
Yeah, I mean
So
your March 15th comment in the channel, I've got some direct correlation to that I can give you. So we'll get there, I think, eventually.
yeah, I'm pretty sure there's show notes here or something, anybody. So we're back. We took a little bit of a hiatus, like Jason said, pinning us down weekly, little bit challenging, so we're going to be doing a little different cadence.
Yep.
But with that said, we're still here, we're still getting through it. Jason, you're still on you're still tracking, you're still doing your stuff, or is your
Yep.
record broke?
I am at. Hold on, let me pull my phone out so I can look. My Fitness Pal login streak is presently at some insanely godly 493 days.
Wow,
Yeah.
that is insane. And there's BJ. I think he's here just to make sure you don't get hired again hired by somebody else. Brandon, did you ever get a
count
running
at?
total at Chicago? So I think it was
6?
yeah, it was like 6 or
Yeah.
7, I want to say. Yeah. What's up, Bobby? We got Robbie. Sorry, Robbie Olson just joined in. Saw Ray earn a new certification. I earned the same. So for fat ass, yeah, that's 27. Poor BJ. Poor BJ. So Brandon, for anybody that doesn't know you, you want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah, I'm Brandon Martinez. I work at eTop Technology. I am senior IT manager, which is wearer of many hats. I joke I'm the technology janitor, but it's a good time. We're a small MSP based out in Southern California, and yeah, we just provide kick-ass service and make sure our clients don't get breached, which is an always running
Nice.
goal.
And you're a little familiar with Roost and automation,
Just a little bit.
a little bit.
Maybe just a little bit. I do a lot of work with automation, make a lot of content around it. I run the shameless plug for the blog Gigacode. It's a blog.gigacode.dev. There is a lot of content on there as far as process automation, Azure hosting, cloud stuff. So if you're into that, check it out.
Nice. So Jay, what have you been up to, dude? What have you I mean, besides Write a Boom, besides CCF, what have you been up to?
Living the dream, working, trying to get my workouts in. I had before, I don't know if we have a segment where we talk about it, but before I was at Write a Boom, I was in Phoenix with the fitness group. That was something. It was really, really good. We had a good time there. I got to hang out and meet Diamond Dallas Page, I think his name is. Not a wrestler guy. But there is definitely, I'll drop it in the host chat. You saw it.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a picture of me and him. He came and did yoga for us in Phoenix. It was somewhat interesting.
This is not a dude that looks like a dude that does the yoga. So that's
No.
the juxtaposition there.
Well, I mean, the other side of it is this is not a dude that looks like he's 68 either. So
No, not at all.
yeah,
that is damn impressive. And that was part of the We Hack Health Ben's group, correct?
Yep, that was part of Ben's group. I think he's maybe convinced you to stay in Orlando after GeekCon.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of excuses to not do
No,
it because
you
Marissa has
don't.
a house.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
I'm working on Heather to let me stay. We'll see. I'm trying to convince her to just come and stay. She doesn't seem keen on that idea, but she might seem keen on flying down like after the kids are done with school.
Yeah.
Might catch the end of it.
I'm trying to convince Michelle to go up with me. I'm actually going out this weekend for Enterprise Connect. And then let me see here. Let me share this tab. And here we go. We got.
Yeah, I mean, not a dude that
Oh,
looks like he's 68.
That does not even look like the same dude.
Yeah.
Jeez, dude.
No, I mean, it was good. I mean, I can't complain. Like, it was good hanging out with those people. One thing I will say, I know that you've had some trouble with your workouts in the gym.
Yep.
It is super motivating to get together with, I mean, in this case, there were 50 of us across 2 Airbnbs. And it is super motivating to get together with a group of people and I'll just go to the gym and lift heavy things. And, you know, not everyone lifts the same heaviness of heavy things, but everyone is doing their best. And we're all cheering each other's PRs, and it was great.
You know what? I think we even have a bumper for mindset and motivations. I probably should have looked at it beforehand, but, you know, we'll go with the flow. See what it looks.
Well, that was jarring.
Yeah, that was a little bit jarring.
I mean, I'll take the music. I just kind of want that little clip. I did not expect it to explode all of us off the screen, but
well, you know, stuff happens. It is what it is. Whatchamacallit. So, all right. So, mindsets and challenges. The goal here is that what we're doing? Mindsets and there we go. Yeah, mindsets and motivation. Better said. I like this one because motivation sucks. It's hard. Yeah. Brandon, you've had some missteps. You had to get back into it. You know, what keeps you motivated, man? What keeps you like going?
Yeah. So for anyone who's unfamiliar with the story, I had some pretty significant personal events at the end of last year. And it kind of came down to a understanding of there's a lot in life that you don't have control over. And rather than focusing on those things, the actions other people do, focus on the stuff you can control. So while it was not fun, it gave a kind of pause and a reset to go, what are the things that matter to me? And what are the things that I can do about that? One of the things was my personal health. And I had kind of slumped a little bit. I used to be a lot more active. I used to go rock climbing, like literally climbing up mountains, multi-pitch outside. And in the past few years, it has kind of just been lounge around at home, eat family-sized bag of chips on the couch while watching TV and not really doing a whole lot else. And I gained quite a bit of weight at the time. I started off with my journey end of December at 230 pounds. I'm 6'2", 6'3", depending on what shoes I'm wearing. But so that kind of helped a little bit. But it was a lot more than I used to weigh. So it was like, one of the things that I have control over is my health. So I want to start eating better. I'm going to get sober. I'm going to work out, actually gain back some muscle mass that I lost. And I mean, it's just kind of, there's a question between motivation and inspiration. The way I heard it, and this kind of stuck with me, is like motivation is the carrot on the stick. What is the thing at that point in time that gets you going? Inspiration is what actually keeps you going through it. So my initial motivation was to feel better about myself, and then also to kind of spite the person who hurt me at the time. But it turned into an inspiration of, like, I am feeling consistently better the more that I eat well and I work out and I exercise and I take care of my mental health and I take stock of what's important in my life. And that's just been something I've been riding out.
Yeah, I'll say to tag onto that a little bit, right? Like, once you get into the habit of it, it doesn't require as much discipline to do it. So you can save the discipline for those days where you just kind of don't feel like it, right? It doesn't take the discipline every day then.
Right.
So I struggle with this. I know we all have, it's funny because I'm going off script here a little bit. But one of the things I was going to ping you, and then of course my ADHD got the better of me, is I wanted to talk a little bit about like mental health and how that affects your mindset and your motivation. Everybody has shit that goes through life. We all know that. I mean, we've all been through our own stuff. That's nothing new. How do you get over that? Like, I want to say, have the pity party, move on. that's a lot easier said than done. How do you
Mhm.
get out of that slump? Do you guys have any like tips, tricks, like what's worked for you guys?
I mean, I always joke as far as being an extrovert, I did it by exposure therapy. I mean, you do things enough times and you realize like, wow, this hasn't gone catastrophically wrong yet, and in fact, it has made me feel better. So like, I might as well keep doing it. I mean, I'm pretty open. I've struggled with clinical depression, anxiety for a very long time, and it is a mix of seeing professionals. I will always recommend, if you feel like you need to see a professional, to go do it. There's no shame in that. Even if you don't feel depressed or anything, it's just a maintenance. It's like a checkup, like you would get at the doctor. That's been helpful to identify some things to work on, some healthy coping mechanisms that work well for me. But also, I mean, exercise is kind of a feedback loop where the exercise makes you feel better mentally, and then because you feel better mentally, you exercise more and you feel more motivated to do so. It's just the first few weeks is the hardest to start, and you really need a strong motivation during that time to stick with it. But once you like you said, once you form that habit, then it's so much easier just to continue on from there.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
like,
go ahead.
go ahead, Jay. No, go.
Okay, from my side, like it's some of what he said. Our group does have, right, like we do have access to a mindset coach, and then Sean, the breathing meditation guru that hangs out in our group too, right? So like there are pieces of this that are more than just physical health, right? And
Mm-hmm.
our little Phoenix event was almost like a conference. There were sessions we attended. Uh, and one of the sessions was from the Kara, who's the mindset coach lady. And, one of the big things she said that resonated with me is identity is what you tell yourself, right? Like you can get past so much of that stuff. And, her whole story is super inspiring. It's not mine to share, so I won't publicly hear. But at some point or another, she got to a point where she felt like she wasn't good enough. And then she just said to herself one day, well, what if I am? Right? What if I am good enough? And if I just tell myself that I am good enough, how will that change my outcome? And it started her down a journey of, getting better. Right. I think that so much of this is negative self-talk. Like, I can't do it. I won't
Mm-hmm.
do it. I'm always going to be fat. I've always been fat. I can't work out. Look at that guy over there, man. He's
Yep.
considerably smaller than me and lifting way heavier. Right. It's so easy to let yourself get into this like feedback loop of negative self-talk and doubt. I mean, and we are in an industry where that is rampant. Like, I have never seen a higher concentration of people with imposter disorder than I have in the tech industry. Right. So I think that we just need to normalize talking about it. As Brandon said, we need to normalize, being there for each other. Like, hug ops is a thing. Like, when people have a bad day, lift them up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I it's funny because I know how my stuff affects me, and like you said, you need a strong motivator to push you to do the next thing. And I also suffer from depression, and it comes in ebbs and flows, and it is what it is. But my way to my way to counteract that is I will try to give a compliment to a random person when I'm out on the street. I'll do that. I did that at Vegas when I'm waiting in line to go check in. No idea why we all did that because I had online check-in, but we were waiting in line anyway. And I did the same thing at CCF. And it's just I try to give somebody a compliment every day. Just the more random, the better. Because who the hell that makes your day? When a random stranger comes to you and give you something, and it makes you feel better because you made their day a little better. And it's I don't know, maybe it's a love language thing, maybe it's just when I'm in a rut, I try to make somebody else feel better, and that kind of comes back to me personally. I don't know if it's the best idea, but it works for me, so I'll
Why
take
wouldn't
it.
it be the best idea, right? Like, I think that's another thing we need to get
Yeah.
over, right? It's like, it's okay to say something nice knowing that it also makes you feel nice. You don't have to villainize yourself because a part of the reason you did that was to make yourself feel better. It's that you made them feel better too.
No, it's true. It's absolutely true. Sometimes we look at it and we're like, "Oh, I'm doing this for me," and it's it kind of takes away from what you're doing a little bit. And no, it doesn't. It's just there's no reason two people can't win out of any situation. So, this is just it's my little thing. Plus, I'm doing my little. I got a Zen garden. Don't ask me why. I just did. I got a Zen garden and whatchamacallit, and it's oddly relaxing. Learning about Zen gardens. I don't know. It's just one of those things. Um, do you find that when you're overly stressed, you struggle to work out, or do you look forward to working out?
I personally look forward to it. It's just when I am stressed out, I just become a ball of energy, and I have to get it out somehow. And a good way to do that is to just go for a run, go do some lifting. I'm sure I've already formed the habit by now, but it's just, I mean, either that. I even go to the car wash. Like, I'll just wash my car for 30 minutes because I'm outside,
Yeah.
I am doing something physical, and it's something productive. I think that's the
Yeah.
thing. It's like when I'm having a stressful day, it's often because I feel like I was unproductive, regardless of how much I actually was. Because, you get 20 things done, but the one thing you didn't get done is going to weigh on you. So I can go, okay,
Oh,
what?
yeah.
I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to spend an hour and I'm going to feel accomplished. I'm going to go wash my car. I'm going to go for a run, something like that.
It's funny when I get overwhelmed at work, which happens from day to day. It's just part of life. But when I get overwhelmed, where I'm like, I have my laundry list of things, and we all have those days where like your checklist just keeps getting longer and longer, despite how long you've been working. It's like every time you work on something, there's something else, and I find that like if I just disconnect, I just stop. I will lock my screen. I will pick up my desk. I will organize something. I will clean something. Just something to step away and feel like I'm making progress on something else. It kind of it lifts my mood a little bit and kind of resets me. It only takes 5, 10, 15 minutes. Not that big of a deal. But it's pretty cool. I'm warning you now, I'm going to do the workouts and routines bumper. So
Brace yourselves.
let's see.
More smooth.
Oh, I appreciate you so much, Garrett. Yeah. It's, and that should be, you know what? I'll actually go back to this. It's so easy to focus on what's driving you nuts and what's like your feelings. And it's harder to step outside of that and realize you're surrounded by a bunch of people that also may be going through the same shit. And just like I said, when you like help somebody else out, you give them a compliment, you feel better. And so, that when you're stressed, look at that. Say, hey, Brandon, you look stressed. Did you go write a boom, or did you, you know what I mean? Like something like that. I don't know.
I went to something called
it's
the
just
OIT Speakeasy and accidentally stayed up all night. And
Oh, that's easy to do. As long as as long as you didn't take anything from Ray, you're probably okay.
I don't
did
think we have a
not.
bumper for that. And for the record, somebody brought stuff to Chicago immediately afterwards. So I don't want to name names, but it rhymes with Schmigel. But yeah, I mean, I don't know why you guys you guys left early. I got to the Speakeasy like 1:00 in the morning. I stayed out till 7, 8 o'clock. So I don't know why you guys went to bed.
Oh, I went home.
Oh, well, yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. All right. So workouts and routines. I know Jason's really excited about his like Smith machine, right? Is that what it was?
No, I have various things. I mean, I've got things I'm excited about. I got things I'm not doing as well as. I'm officially declaring publicly that I'm dropping from the marathon to a half marathon. I couldn't get the running in between being sick and travel and other things. I'm going to be hurting to get the full half marathon in. I mean, luckily in my training, I've already run that distance. So it's just a matter of, I got 4 weeks to build back up to it. But yeah, it's been goods and bads.
Okay. Well, how are you preparing for it? Just a lot of running, or what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, the way you prepare for a marathon is you run. Sorry, I couldn't help it. It's I'm a smartass. No, I have a training plan that I follow, and I need to. I should be running right now 3-4-3 during the week, and then I think my long run this weekend should probably be like 7, but I'll probably try to do 10 honestly this weekend. Just get back into the groove of it.
What about you, Brandon? What are your go-to? Are you just doing food? Are you doing working out? What are you doing, man?
Doing both. It's been honestly the best thing that I've purchased in the past 3 months has been a kitchen scale, because you don't realize how easy it is to slip extra calories in until you are weighing stuff and you're like, wow, that's a lot less of a serving size than I thought it was. But yeah, I'm doing working out too. I'm running a lot. I've been inspired by a lot of the people in the channel who do the runs at the conferences. At Vegas, I ran. Oh yeah, there you go. I ran with Matt Topper and Josh. They go by Run Josh Run in the MMN Discord to the Vegas sign and back, which happened to be exactly 5K. So that was pretty
Nice.
fun.
Yeah, I missed that one because I stayed out too late the night before, hanging out with various people.
I mean, I don't blame
Yeah.
anyone for not getting up at 5:30 in Vegas of all places.
Yeah,
that's,
I mean,
that's kind of hard.
That was the entirety of the problem. Honestly, the entirety of the problem was the early. I felt fine the next morning when I woke up. I just wasn't getting up at 5:30.
It was one of those things where, like, I think the first night we did the whole, oh yeah, we're gonna go to bed early because it's the first night and relax. And there's a bar right in front of the freaking elevators to your room. And of course, everybody's there. Yeah. So
it is literally called lobby bar.
Yeah.
Dude. And so we were out till 3:45, something like that, 3:15, 3:45. I was back up at 5:45 because my body was like, it's 8:45 and Eastern time. Like, let's go, you lazy ass. And my body was just like, we're not doing this. And I felt fine all day. It was weird. The next night I was freaking dead. But so Jason, what are we looking at here, dude? I know you were super proud of this. I'm gonna play the video, but why don't you give us the intro on this, man?
So I've been working on my deadlift. So to be fair, before December, I think early December, late November, I had never done a deadlift in my life. I started out doing about 135 pounds. In Phoenix, I set a goal that I was going to pull up 315, and I pulled 315 up for 3 reps. And then I knew I had more. I was dead in Phoenix. So we did this. This was Saturday here at the Y I work out at, and that's 335 pounds. And a little shaky, but I get it up and lock it out, and it felt great. And
I'm going to go ahead and say that the struggle there was that you were wearing a ConnectWise shirt.
Yeah, it could be. It could be. Like, when you're getting into the heavyweight, when the bar starts to bend.
But how badass does that feel, though, when the bar is starting to bend when you're doing this stuff?
Yeah, this is
so what are we looking at here?
This is 275 squat. My PR going into Phoenix was 165, so I'll take 110 pounds more than that. And Boyd is like, nope. I'm like, yeah, fine. That last one was really bad. But yeah, I'm hitting PRs. I want to, next time we have an event, I really am trying to get people to the gym. I want to go lift. And I'll teach people to do those lifts safely. And and we'll,
it's a big deal.
Do other things, and we'll go lift heavy things. And lifting heavy things is very fun.
Yeah.
My favorite things to do is lift heavy things and put them back down and then pick them up again.
Repeatedly.
Put them back down.
It's funny because, like, I dread going to the gym to work out, which is like 20 feet that way. But you ask me to, like, lift heavy stuff all day long, and I will find excuses to go lift heavy stuff. It's the dumbest thing in the world. Yeah. It's just a mindset thing, right? It's just like
we work in an industry where there's often not like concrete work product, but I'll tell you what, you lift that heavy thing up and you put it down, like that workout, that Saturday workout, I had 61,000 pounds of volume in that workout between all the things I did, because I had leg press, and anytime you have leg press, it's just giant. My job is often not concrete, but I'll tell you what, I lifted 61,000 pounds on Saturday, and that is the thing that has a concrete outcome.
That is insane.
I can lift that for you, server, no problem.
Yeah.
He's just like, what's that hyperscale? I got you, bro. I got you. No, I sit there, and it's funny because, like, as you progress through the workouts, you just get stronger and stronger your every day. And the easiest way I can tell here at the office is the 5-gallon bottles of water, right? You lift them up and they get a little bit easier. And then suddenly you realize, wait a minute, you're doing this with a 5-gallon bottle of water.
48 pounds of water.
Yes.
So you're going to be juggling them.
You know what? We have BJ in here. And I think BJ is somebody we should have on the show at some point. BJ also went through his own journey. I'm not going to spill it for him. It's his story to tell, not mine. But he also went through an amazing transformation himself years ago. Then he talks about staying active and doing stuff. So that's pretty badass. All right, let's see what Jonathan says. Jonathan says, just need to be strong enough to bring in all the groceries with one trip.
That is the goal of all people. The reason we all work out is
Absolutely.
that we can carry like 3 weeks worth of groceries in one trip.
Yeah, absolutely. If you can't carry all the groceries one hand and close the car door and unlock the front door and walk in, I mean, what are you even doing?
Yeah.
I love my giant IKEA bag. The big one that carries it can carry 3 weeks of groceries in it.
Oh no, don't be that guy. I have the rolling cart too. I never use it, but I have it because it was on Amazon. And so my wife, who knows me so well, she loves me to death. She got me these handles that have for the bags on each side. And they're made specifically, it's called like man grip or something like that. It's specifically made for us idiots to try to do it all in one trip. And it is so down. It is so cool. All right. BJ says he's down. Let's go. Yeah. I mean, BJ's had me on his podcast, a couple times. So, definitely got to return the favor. All right. So, Brandon, your workouts, what's your go-to, man? Are you doing deadlifts? Are you doing bench presses? Are you jogging 4,500 miles? What are you doing?
So I'm doing the Couch to 5K program. I actually got my Apple Watch to 5K, but it's nice because it'll vibrate and actually say to my headphones, time to run, time to rest. That's been good. I had to try the week one for 2 or 3 weeks to get the stamina to actually run for a full minute, but I'm at that point, so I'm progressing through it. Other cardio, VR has actually been great for cardio work. Stuff like Beat Saber, those kinds of games. I am honestly sometimes more tired out playing those games than I am when I get back from the gym. As far as weights and stuff, I am mostly using just the machines at the gym. I'm only a few months into it, and I think it's a little bit safer, I guess.
Yeah,
without really knowing to have something that kind of makes it very difficult to screw up the form.
Yeah.
So until I get a little bit stronger there, I'm probably going to stick with that. But my gym does have this really cool area called the Lift Lab. It's only open to members of the higher membership, but you also have to be 18 plus. And the door is locked, and you can't get in until you scan a little badge that says I am over 18 years old. And it's just like super brand new lifting equipment. And it's great because no offense to the teenagers who work out, but a lot of them are there to post more content than work out. So it's a very serious corner of the gym where if you're making the effort to go in there, you're definitely there to work out and gain muscle mass. And that is the reason why you're there.
What gym is that? I think one of the ones I was looking at in Vegas to potentially visit had Lift Lab in it.
It's Choose Fitness.
Okay. Maybe there was one.
Is that the same one as in Vegas?
Chicago. It might have been. There might have been one in Chicago.
I don't know if it's just a Southern California thing or not.
Yeah, I mean that's super awesome. I would agree with you wholeheartedly. Like you get somebody to show you how to do the dead weight stuff safely, right? Like it's not hard, but it does at least watch form videos. I can send you, I mean, if you ping me privately, or we can put them I'll put them in the Discord. Any movements you want to do, I will give you representative videos showing you how to break the movements down, how to do them. But the machines are always safe, right? Like that's, I mean, not always safe. You can definitely bend yourself in half on a leg press.
Yeah.
But relatively speaking, you're less likely to bend yourself in half on a leg press than you are to turn yourself into a pretzel trying to do a barbell squat without the safety set correctly.
And let's be honest, that's the goal, to be less likely to bend yourself in half. I mean, that's that's the. But it's funny you say that, because we do the things we learn, right? Because that's how we learned from Ben. Doing the True Coach app. Watching his videos with his kid as his kid got older and older, and his wife, but watching those videos showing you how to do the different workouts and stuff. So for those that are not working out yet or considering a workout plan, what would you say if you're going to say these are the 5 exercises you should do first for an absolute beginner? Jay, what would you recommend?
Ooh. Flappy Birds.
I hate the fucking Flappy Birds so much.
Don't you? So they're actually called. I mean, these are easy band. I'll pick ones you can relatively easily do with bands, because everyone has bands. Flappy Birds they're actually called banded lateral raises. you put the band on your feet and you lift your arms horizontal and then back down, and you do it slow like this, and then you cry after about 10 of them, and you do 20 at a time, like 3-ish sets, right? Like I call them Flappy Birds because it reminds me of something.
It's funny when Jay started talking to me about it. He's like, "Oh, I'm so tired of doing Flappy Birds." I knew immediately what the hell he was talking about. It was like, and it's not the workout because he's making it sound way too easy. It's
hard
because of the holding. You're like the first 5. You're like, I got this.
Yeah,
I can
10
do it.
You're like, oh, this is easy. I can do a million of them, and then you get to 12 and you're dead.
Yeah. And then it's like, do it again. No, but honestly, I love them. But it's good though. Like, the shoulders. Yeah, I mean,
hammer
that's probably
curl,
the weakest part of me.
You know, so that works. You know, that's going to get your shoulder.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a little bit of the back there. Hammer curls, you can do eccentric, or if you can get the thing above you, tricep extensions, right? Those isolate, biceps, triceps, legs. I mean, just body weight squats. If you don't have, or if you have barbells or dumbbells or even bands, you can do eccentric with the bands, just doing squats. Goblet if you just want to hold a barbell. That's 4. 5th one, I'm probably incline. No, I'm trying to think of another leg one. The leg ones are really hard to do without equipment, right? Like other than squats, essentially.
The body weight squats, like because it's a little easier, you start focusing on like the form.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
last one's probably like some sort of chest lift. It could be. I mean, you can do that with bands too if you set it up right. Oh no, Jonathan, that is a bad word. But some sort of lift, right? Do incline bench with dumbbells or barbell, whatever you have, right? Like you can vary that from flat to all the way up at doing shoulder press, and you can work basically your entire chest, arms, back. Don't skip leg day, but leg day requires equipment typically because you're going to be doing, barbell squats or leg press or calf raises or leg extensions or hip thrusters. Yeah. Any of those, or Bulgarian split squats, which if you're not familiar, I was going to say, if you're not familiar with them, imagine yourself doing a lunge with a foot up on a bench behind you holding weight.
So I saw this at ChannelCon. I saw a guy doing these.
Yeah.
And he was doing it with weights. He was holding dumbbells. And they were like 45s. I'm like, this guy was a freaking beast.
And then you're looking at it and you're like, that doesn't look like it should be that hard. And then you go to do one and you're like, I have gravely misspoken.
Oh no, I know my lane. I'm looking at him and he was struggling with it. And I'm like, and that dude looked like the dude in the video, except probably had another 50 pounds on him of muscle. And I'm looking at him doing it. He's struggling. I'm like, not yet. Another day, not yet.
We did them in Pittsburgh. They were terrible. Well, they weren't even Bulgarian. They were just split squats. Like you didn't even have a leg up, and they were still terrible.
Yeah. What about you, Brandon? What's your go-to? You're going to start working out. What did you when you started working out? What did you start doing?
I just went for walks, without having really any training as far as endurance or muscles and my legs or joints or anything. Just I would go for a walk around the block around the office and come back 15 minutes later. And the cool thing was over about a month or so of doing that, my heart rate was going down as I was walking. And I'm like, this is an interesting kind of feedback to get from there. I think as far as beginners though, I almost want to say there isn't really much you can't do. Like most things have a beginner starting point. Like if you want to run, you can start running, you can start cycling, you can start lifting. It's just kind of like, where do you want to focus and what's the most fun to you? Because like if someone's not more into cycling, they are running, and you say, oh, you have to start out running, that could derail their fitness journey. Just because they're being told like, oh, you have, it's can be a case like, oh, you have to start running, versus like I have an e-bike. I try to ride it around a lot, and moving from Phoenix to Southern California has made it a whole heck of a lot easier to do stuff outside.
Yeah.
So Jason pinged me on this when you were talking, and Jason, you want to say what this is?
Yeah, I mean, there's that study it released late last year basically said, if you can get 8,000 steps a day, then it's got a measurable increase in longevity, right? Like you live longer. People die when they get older due to largely to the loss of mobility, which comes from bone density issues or muscle loss, right? Essentially, grip strength, stuff like that really has an effect on mobility, and just keeping muscle mass on is important as you get older. And so, whatever you can do, walking is a great way to do that. As you mentioned, it affects your cardiovascular health. Your resting heart rate starts to go down, and those are all indicators of goodness.
It's funny because those are the measurements, and we'll get into weights and measurements in a little bit, but those are the measurements that I enjoy. The sleep quality, the stuff that comes from the watch or the Whoop or whatever the hell you're wearing. When you see your resting heart rate go down, when you see when you see just these things that you don't outwardly feel, but you look at it and it's like, okay, my body's actually making changes as this goes on. It's pretty awesome. And like BJ said, or like Creighton said, any workout's a good workout. All right, I'm warning you guys, we have another bumper coming on. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go.
Oh.
So I'll talk to Phil afterwards.
No, it's good. I like it.
No, I love them. It's just that one little clang right in the beginning is like, now that I'm wearing earbuds, yeah, I hear it.
I think they could be like 20% louder.
Yeah, just just a little bit. Why not? Why you have eardrums? All right. So I will be the first to admit, at Vegas, I did not drink it. Well, I drank plenty. I didn't drink enough water, to the point where I absolutely loathe chapstick or any of that stuff. I hate that feeling on my lips. And my lips were so dry, I had to get some Carmex and do stuff. And it was, I just recovered from that 2-3 days ago. Finally got back to normal. And it was entirely from not drinking water. How did you guys do? I know the other liquids you guys were drinking in Vegas because I was there. But
I was right there with you with the chapstick.
Yeah, it's one of those things. So Brandon, do you try to hit a hydration goal every single day?
I need to be better at tracking it, but yeah, I have a 18-ounce water bottle, and I try to get through at least 4 of those a day.
Okay. I know Jason's doing at least 3 or 4 liters a day.
Yeah,
right?
I'm trying to 3 or 4 liters. It really varies. I'm low today. I did okay in Vegas, mostly because I drank and I knew I was probably gonna drink some, so I know better than to not super hydrate. That I've had the hangover that you get in Vegas when you don't drink enough water, and I never want to experience that again in my life, to the point where last time we were in Vegas before this trip, I just didn't drink to risk it. But since I've been home, I did okay. I think I did not as good at CCF, but I did okay. Since I've been home, it's been terrible. I probably only got 3 liters yesterday, 2.5, 3 liters. I'm probably only at 2 today. So I'll probably try to get at least another 1.5 to 2 liters in before I go to bed.
See, it's funny for me because even before I started with Ben, I was doing 3-4 liters of water. I love water. I drink water nonstop. I drink a ton. And I drink other liquids too. Just I love water. So when I got to Vegas, I was doing the same thing. I was drinking. I got plenty of those $6, probably Vegas, probably $14 bottle of water in your room and stuff like that, and refill them. And it's funny because little changes in my routine throws me off. So this is my Avengers water bottle I got from Disney. I don't know, probably a year ago. It's 32 ounces. So I know roughly 4 and change of these is almost 4 liters, right? 32 ounces out of 33.8. And so I'm used to, if I have this in my hand, I know exactly how many of these I'm going through. It's just part of my day. But in Vegas, since I didn't bring this with me, I couldn't track my water. I was closer to Brandon and it's not like I can't add 16 ounces, 30 ounces, 20. Yeah. I can do the math, right? It's not hard. And MyFitnessPal has it. It broke my routine.
I find it really hard to track in MyFitnessPal. That's the one thing I use that app extensively, and I just suck at doing water in it.
Well, it's complicated to do water. It's 3 steps when it really shouldn't be, to be fair. Especially if you don't do like one of the preset, like 8, 16,
Yeah.
24 ounce. Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned that you got home and you got off track with the water thing. That was me at ChannelCon. Remember, the whole reason I started this last year was because I had a lull between, what was it, Secure and ChannelCon, where I wasn't doing anything. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take 3 months. That's when I started with Ben, started doing everything and doing this. And so I was good all the way up to ChannelCon. Honestly, I didn't do bad at ChannelCon. We got the protein shakes. We had a ship delivery to the hotel, which hotels really don't like that, by the way. So did all that. So I was actually good in Vegas. And then when I got back home, it threw me off for like 2 weeks where like I wasn't drinking enough. And here's the flip. As soon as I got home, I'm like, I think I was driving the poor stewardess or flight attendant nuts on the flight home because I was just like water. And they won't give you the water bottles on a plane for some reason. So
yeah. I mean, that one night in Vegas at ChannelCon, I'm pretty sure you drank a liter of tequila.
Yeah, but also, yeah, there was that. And tequila has water in it, so
yeah, it does. Ben says if it contains water in it, you're allowed to log it as water. So, and I mean, we did walk a lot in tequila.
We did, yeah.
It's a good recovery drink, especially if you have it as a margarita, because you need salt to replenish. It's got some carbohydrates.
You need those electrolytes.
It's perfect. Yeah, it's got electrolytes.
That's what plants crave.
Yeah, that's they say, what is it? Cinnamon's an anti-inflammatory. That's why I drink Fireball.
Yeah.
So I mean, if we're gonna do that, I mean, no, it's for those that don't know, alcohol does dehydrate you, as does coffee. Which I actually had to cut back on coffee because my blood pressure had gone up a little bit, and so I'm good now. But my blood pressure was up for a hot minute from being sick, and so like I had to stop the coffee. I was checking on the salt. I don't do a lot of salt anyway, but I was doing that, like eliminate all the factors that could possibly lead to high blood pressure, because I really didn't want to add medication to it, and got it under control. So very happy about that. But yeah, coffee will dehydrate you. Alcohol will dehydrate you. So I would even argue if you're doing those things, or if you happen to be hanging out with us at any conference, drink a lot of water. Maybe next time we'll bring cases of water to whatever thing we do. That and liquid IV.
Right, like, so that's a giveaway that several vendors have given me that I always keep. The 1 liter Nalgene bottles, right? Like they're great because they hold a liter. So if you're trying to drink 4 liters of water throughout the day, you can just drink 4 of them.
Yep. Yeah, it's those little tricks. Okay, so go into those little tricks. We've talked before about easy meal replacement or easy ingredient replacements. They kind of just make your life a little easier, right? So instead of cheese, nutritional yeast, or cottage cheese blended, or however you want to do it, instead of creams, you can do Greek yogurt. Brandon, what have you been eating? What has been your plan as far as the weight loss? Like, how are you addressing the nutrition side of it?
Prepping has been very helpful to keep on track with that. I think one of the biggest dangers when trying to keep on a diet is getting home from work and being too out of it to want to actually cook yourself dinner. So you go, oh, I'll just pick up something on the way home, or I'll get something delivered, or there's pizza rolls in the freezer I'll have instead. Yeah. I think one of my favorite kitchen appliances besides the scale is my rice cooker. It was $20. But I mean, honestly, you mix rice, meat, and some sort of veggie, and there is a meal prep plan, and there's like infinite combinations for that. And if you make it consistent, it makes it that much easier to track because you just put it in your app and you're done. On the note of alcohol, it's really easy to forget how much calories is in alcohol.
Oh yeah,
yep.
Like one of my favorite beers is Voodoo Ranger IPA, and I looked it up. Oh, yeah. 250 calories per 12 ounces.
Yeah,
you drink 2 of those, and that's basically a meal in liquid.
Yep. So that was my strategy in Vegas, was just to drink a beer instead of having a meal.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, to that end, for any bourbon drinkers out there, bourbon 1.5 ounces, approximately 100 calories. Most of the bourbon.
Yeah, 70 per ounce.
Yeah. It is the first thing I looked up when I started doing this. I'm like, I have my calories set. I know what I need to do, and let's see how I can work this in. To the point where, like, I love Guinness. I don't do beer a whole lot anymore. I don't do Guinness a whole lot anymore. because I can burn through a beer. I can burn through a 16 or 20 ounce beer really damn quick. You're not going to do that with a couple glasses of bourbon. It's just not going to happen. Well, I should qualify that. Anyway,
yeah, is that a challenge?
Yeah. Meanwhile,
Shane
BJ's
Deegan
in the chat. He's like, "You're full of shit." And Creighton, who was at ChannelCon last year. What about Jay? Okay, I had this conversation with Dan DeMaio and Bolander and a bunch of other people. Rice cooker or not rice cooker? How are you doing your rice?
Oh, rice cooker, 100%.
See, the Cuban in me doesn't let me. This is my rice cooker. I take a pot.
That works too. I've done it.
Yeah, I mean,
and
it comes out great every time. I mean,
it does.
Oops. What did I just do? There we go. Yeah, I mean, it comes out great every time.
No, I mean, I've done it that way a ton. The rice cooker is just so much more convenient because you don't have to babysit as much. Like you insert rice, 10 minutes later, you come back and you have good rice. Right. But it's the same thing. If you get too much water, the wet rice is gummy. If you don't, it's the same thing.
You know the trick. You put the water up to your phalanx, the first phalanx. So touch the rice, fill the water until it hits your first phalanx. That's all the water you need.
I usually do slightly less than the same volume, right? So I'll do a cup of rice or 2 cups of rice and then like 1 and 1.8 cups of water. And then I find that's about right.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. Rice cookers are so simple too. I mean, water can't get hotter than boiling point. So there's just a thermometer in there that says, if I get hotter than the boiling point of water, the water is gone, the rice is done. Yep. So they're so incredibly cheap and simple appliances. You're not like trying to, you don't have to connect it to your Wi-Fi. You don't have to set anything on there. You put the rice in and you press the lever down, and when it's done, it's done.
See,
it's not
even called out for my meter thermometers.
There's no thermostat in it. It's literally a bimetallic strip. It's electromechanical. Technology Connections on YouTube has a really long video about it. That is,
I love that channel.
Fascinating.
That's right, BJ. I called you a phalanx. I don't know, man. It's just I was brought up Cuban upbringing. Like, now don't get me wrong, my mom used to love microwaving rice. I can't bring myself to do it. I did have, speaking of carbs, I did have a little bit of fun day before yesterday, and I made some smashed potatoes, little tiny ones. They're fucking phenomenal, dude. This is putting on the oil and butter and stuff, but 2 or 3, not bad at all, and it was absolutely phenomenal. And who doesn't love potatoes? I mean, potatoes are great for you.
People villainize things like that, right? But like the rule to me is if that's a whole food, like it grew in the ground, if it fits your macros and it makes you happy, like by all means eat it. Like that's not that bad for you. It's perfectly fine. Just don't put equal volume or weight of butter and potato in your fine.
And sour cream and bacon and
cheese.
And cheddar. I mean, those are all fine too, but what does Ben say? If you're gonna eat like an asshole today, don't eat like an asshole tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just balance your shit out. What's your what's your stance on carbs and starches and stuff, Brandon? Are you good with it too, or are you trying to avoid them at all costs? What's your approach?
Right now, I mainly focus on calories.
Okay.
I think it's a simple way to start, and it's easy to, kind of keep on top of that. And I'm sure I'll get more into macros in a little bit, but calories, eating a lot of like protein shakes, protein bars before I go to the gym and stuff. Not really for like counting the number I get in, but I know it's good for me around that time. So, but I mean, I weigh myself once a week. I know it's really easy for body weight to change day to day. So like I'll weigh myself one day and it'll be like 2 pounds heavier or lighter the next day. It's not because I gained 2 pounds in 24 hours.
It's water.
It's just because it's water.
Yeah. It's because you need to poop.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, that too. There's times where like I'll weigh myself before I poop in the morning and I'll weigh myself after, and I'm looking for like a noticeable change, and it's really not that noticeable. And it kind of pisses me off because like sometimes, you think you vacated a significant quantity and, to come back and the scale's like, no.
Yeah. But it's calories deficit per week for me, because I know too,
Yep.
it's kind of unreasonable for myself to expect myself to be perfect every single day.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes
Oh, yeah,
I
sure.
get Del Taco for lunch. Shout out to
Yeah.
Robbie if he's still here.
I mean, generally, like Ben puts us, we only have 2 targets nutrition wise. Well, I mean, we have a water target, but I suspect you're the same as me, Ray. I have a calorie target and a protein target, and the fats and carbs, he doesn't care how you split them. Right. So like I'm at 2,000 calories a day, 160 grams of protein, and those are my rules.
Yeah, it's he has me tracking protein, fiber, calories first, and protein,
Fiber.
and then like 3 or 4 weeks later, he added fiber to it.
He doesn't care
honestly,
about fiber. You care about fiber.
Yes, and honestly, my stomach's good. Like, but I do probiotics, prebiotics, postbiotics every day anyway. Like,
Yeah.
And my stomach's built like a freaking tank. So I'm trying to find my pictures of overnight oats because I've had it here. And I've definitely done it. I am a huge, huge, huge fan of overnight oats, Jonathan. They're fantastic. The only thing that kind of kills me is my morning breakfast is, and I hope Ben's not listening, is cappuccino protein, 2 scoops of that in a blender bottle with 32 ounces of water. That's my breakfast. That's what I like to have for breakfast. And then my coffee, and then at lunch, I'll eat whatever. So the overnight oats, you can get to 200, 300, 400 calories easily if you're not careful. Do you have any recipes for overnight oats? I'm trying to find mine so I can share them, but do you have any recipes for them?
There's, I mean, they in the chat in the Ben has one in the mainframe.
Okay,
he's a huge fan of overnight oats.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's not steel cut oats. It's the other one. It's the regular one. You put oats. I like to take a container of pure protein or Premier Protein and put it in there. You can put in milk. You can put whatever you want. I do the Premier Protein just to throw some more things in there. And then I've been doing these that are trying to see if I can read it from here. They're caramel coffee bean or some nonsense like that is the flavor. Put that in there, throw some, I'll do chia seeds or flax seeds or hemp hearts, throw that in there, throw some berries or something sometimes if I want a little extra sweetness, but usually not necessary, and just toss in the fridge. Easiest thing in the entire world. Super, super easy. And they're fantastic. Brandon, have you done the overnight oats thing?
I have not yet, no.
Oh man, it's the jam, dude. Oh no, I found ice cream. Yeah, we haven't talked about ice cream since last year. Jason, have you done any more ice cream?
No, I haven't. And as a matter of fact, some of that original batch I made is still in the freezer. I'm not a huge ice cream guy.
I'm not either. I'll do a sorbet all day. I'll do Italian ice all day. That stuff I love. But yeah, it's okay. So I have opinions on this, but I'll let you guys. I'm telling you, we were talking for like 6 hours on rice. Starchy rice. Okay. So if it's a long grain rice, or you don't want to have, if it's long grain rice, you want to rinse it, but most recipes, anything else, you don't have to.
Correct.
And just the opposite. So I used to rinse my rice, not knowing why, just taught to rinse the rice. And then I actually researched it because ADHD in me means I deep dive into every single topic. And I learned it really doesn't matter. Also, what I learned, which I started doing when I cooked yesterday, we had the smashed potatoes, but I still made rice, put in the fridge, because when you leave rice or pasta overnight, it becomes, your body has to work harder to digest it because it redoes the starch molecules or some scientific crap like that. So your body works harder, so you actually don't absorb as many calories, and it's actually kind of a win. So it's kind of cool. Overnight ice cream. I've had ice cream overnight. So
what about gelato? What are your thoughts on gelato?
I love gelato. It is rich though.
But it also contains a lot of air. So per volume, it can be less calories than full fat ice cream because of how much air they whip into it.
Well, and it's not full fat milk that they do it with, right?
I do not believe it is.
Yeah. So, you have options. For the
Rolled
one that was
oats, by the
asking
way,
about
Ray.
I'm sorry?
Rolled oats.
Rolled
Not
oats.
steel
Thank
cut.
you. Thank
Yep.
you. Yeah, I knew it was a steel cut because they tell you specifically don't do steel cut, but I couldn't remember what it was. If anybody pings me in the wins and losses channel in Discord, I have recipes. I have lots of recipes on paprika for overnight oats that I've liked, and
Oh,
I
yeah.
will share them.
Ben has a ton of them in his little cookbooks. So
Yeah.
I think I pasted the
What
PB&J one.
let me ask you, what cookbooks do you like to follow for weight loss and meal replacement and all that fun stuff?
Heather really likes the Skinny Taste one, so we make a lot of her recipes, but many of her recipes aren't super high in protein, so we tend to favor the higher protein ones.
Yeah. What about you, Brandon?
Google.
Fair.
ChatGPT.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
It's
just look
like-
up recipes, Google, YouTube. Did you get a chance to try that chicken recipe I posted the other night, Ray?
No, not yet. I was dying to
good.
try this. But also like I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's funny, as I'm watching the video, and I'll find it, I think you put it in the food channel. As I'm watching the video, I'm looking at, I'm like, okay, I would replace this with 0-calorie sweetener. I'd replace this with 0-calorie maple syrup or whatever syrup. And I'm like, I could totally do this. And then it got into I want to see like calculate what the regular calories would be versus like if I redid this, and then I just got overcomplicated, did something else. So that's just part of life. Let's see. Jason shared this. Let me share it here. Jason shared this, and Restream is being kind of buggy today, so sorry guys. But it's in the wins and losses channel on our MMN Discord.
Yeah, that's
There
one
you
of
go.
Ben's. I figure he won't be mad at me if I share one of them.
Nah. But the chia seeds, flax seeds, are you guys doing that? Chia seeds, flax seeds, hemp hearts?
I bought some and I haven't done anything with them. They're still sitting in the bag.
It's not. So the trick with chia is you got to let it sit.
Yeah.
It has to absorb water, which
Yeah.
makes it look disgusting, which is why I like putting it in the overnight oats, because you don't taste it. It's completely mixed in.
If you let it sit long enough, it grows you an afro.
It does. It's a chia pet. It's just water, put on some clay, and suddenly you have Gallagher or whatever. No, Jack, you're not too late. We're about to say goodbye to everybody. No, we got, let's see. What do we have?
Weights and
I would like
measurements.
to cover weights and measurements. I knew Jason was very excited about weights and
No, I'm
measurements.
not that
Hold on,
excited about it. It's the thing I want to talk about least because I'm not doing that great. So
why do you think I left it for last? All right, I do have a bumper. Do I have a bumper? Yeah, we do. So I can see you guys in I can see you guys in the green room. So I see like Brandon nodding his head while the music's playing.
It's groovy.
It is. It is. All right. Weights and measurements. You measure. I want to let Jason go last. Brandon, you can either tell us what you did this last week, or you want to tell us like overall what you've done. Your guess. So I'm not going to torture you with the weights and measurements.
Yeah, I guess body weight wise, I started at 230. I'm down to anywhere between 207, 210, depending on when I weighed myself this week. But it's been
awesome, dude.
2 or 3 months. Part of that was because I got the flu, which if you want to lose a lot of weight really quickly, catch the flu.
We are not giving medical advice on wins and losses. Med is not responsible.
I am not a doctor.
See a doctor before contracting the flu for weight loss.
Suddenly we have like 50 people. Just go to a conference. You'll catch it.
Yeah.
You'll catch something.
Fly to Florida and back a few times, and you're bound to catch something. But yeah, weight wise, I'm around 50 pounds, biceps and triceps, which may not be a whole lot to some more established weightlifters, but for being a few months
fantastic,
in,
dude.
Pretty proud of it.
Good for you, dude. Good for you. All right, Jason. Where you said you're not doing too good. I'll preface this with
down a couple pounds since last time we did this, but I'm down 2 more inches on my waist, and I'm down like almost 5 more inches overall on my measurements, right? So like much like Brandon talked about, I'm still in body recamp phase. Now, what I will say is Ben is really pushing me. He's obviously coming to MSP GeekCon, the main stage with me, and I'm really trying to push down into the low 250s, high 240s before MSP GeekCon. So I am starting a more aggressive cut than I've been in.
So I am exactly the same as I was at our last recording. Went up, went down for, the holidays, travel and whatever. But I'm exactly where I am. But like you, there's been other changes. You saw me at CCF. I wasn't using the scooter unless we were like moving
it was great.
places. Even at Ride a Boom, like I did to get from place to place, but because it's fucking Vegas. But yeah, I'm walking approximately 4 times the number of steps I was last December, on a daily basis, not counting it, not doing it on purpose, just regular motion. Just finding myself like getting up and standing more often. Like you've known me a long time, Jason. Like it's been a couple of years since I sit there and I stand with you for 30 minutes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
So, yeah, I'm not crying about it. Honestly, yes, I have a lot more weight to go, but you know what? I feel fucking fantastic, dude. I feel phenomenal. So, yeah. All right. So that wraps us up. We went a little bit long, which is okay because hell, we've been gone a hell of a long time. So I want to thank you, Brandon. You're awesome. Your contributions in the MMN Discord, you're sharing your stories as you go. I will tell you that's constant motivation for me. The old saying, misery loves company. Well, success does as well. And so looking at you, when I see you have your good times or you have your successes, I'm like, let's fucking go. Let's get it. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Not that you don't inspire me too, Jason, but
Well, no, but people should share their struggles too, right? Because we have this interesting social media like positive bias where everyone, like including me, it's like, hey, look at me, I lifted 335 pounds, right? Like, but I don't want to talk about the fact that I fell completely off the nutrition wagon a month ago, or that it's been I went 6 months and didn't miss a gym workout, and then since then it's been really rocky, right? Like you don't want to talk about the bads, only the goods.
Right. It's like you see the highlight reel.
Yeah. And so like I purposely, I don't want to be that guy that's posting on LinkedIn all the time. I screwed up and this is my screw. Like I don't want to be self-aggrandizing either. But I often refer to the Navy SEALs have a saying called "embrace the suck." You know what I mean? When shit happens, lean into it. And so I do. You know what I mean? Like if I sit there and I'll get to because I'm still at a size where certain size chairs, like I can't sit if it's below a 22-inch chair, it doesn't work for me. Stuff like that or whatever. And I find being open about that stuff, like talking publicly when I'm struggling, when I'm having a mental health like struggle day, or when I'm having a physical health struggle day, or just when I slept like shit. And it's just whenever you're having a bad day, good day, whatever, people tend to appreciate it. And the number of people that have come up to me afterward and be like, thank you so much for being so open about your weight and about the challenges you have and all this shit. Like they're like, I'm not doing it on purpose, but I've kind of become the fat man like guru at some of the conferences. Which you know what? Fuck it. If I can help somebody else, why not?
Yep.
Which is the whole point of the show, right? That's the whole point. Share the stories and support everybody else. So, Jason, what do you got coming up, dude? You're going spring break. You're traveling. Where are you at next? Where am I going to see you at next?
Where you'll see me next is probably GeekCon. Honestly, I'm trying to think. I have some travel to New York coming, but it's not. It's client-facing work. I think my next channel stuff, unless I end up somewhere else, unless I somehow end up in Florida and hang out with you some way, or MSP Summer Camp happens, will probably be MSP GeekCon, and then after that, it's secure. I was trying to make flow work. I'm not sure I can do it. We need our events to not, you know what I really need? I need our events to not be like once a quarter for 3 weeks in a row.
Yes, that would be freaking awesome. That would, What about you, Brandon? What are you up to?
Yeah, I'll be at GeekCon too. I'm doing a panel on In a Surprise to Absolutely Nobody automation. So come say hello if you're going to be there. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Going to be at Flow, actually as a sponsor of the event. So I'm going to chill on the podcast, but come say hi there as well.
No, chill on the podcast. So that's Brandon's LinkedIn. If you like automation, especially if you like Roost automation, you need a little bit of help. He's on the freaking rock calls every single Friday. I see you. I don't join him all the time, but I see the chat going on because that's how Teams rolls. And whatchamacallit, the eTop does automation for hire, professional services. So reach out. Roos is a badass application. But it's very much blue ocean of like, what the hell do I do with this? So it's got its
we have a lot of
so
people
reach out.
talk to us at events and they're like, I want to do this, but it's just like, I don't have the time, I don't have the people, I don't have the knowledge. And it's like, we want people to always invest and get to the point where they can get off the ground. But like, how do you bridge that gap and get that initial ROI? So if you have any automation questions, whether or not it's for services, feel free to shoot me a LinkedIn message. All my contact information is on the GigaCode blog, so feel free to reach out there, or on Discord. I go by Giga.
That's right. Your GigaCode. It's gigacode.dev, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It is. I refer to it as Cyber Drain Junior. It is only because Kelvin's been blogging longer. That's the only reason. It's not a quality comment.
Yeah, I mean, my Discord's open if anyone wants to chat, whether it be about automation, technology, fitness, just someone to chat to. I'm always happy to make a connection.
Yeah, I will be at Enterprise Connect, and both of these gentlemen are in the MMN Discord, by the way, and MSP Geek, and a million other places. But if you want to reach out, I will be at Enterprise Connect, not sponsoring, just guesting, doing stuff, whatever. Enterprise Connect, and then we'll be at Ultimate Growth Conference, Jennifer Bleem's thing, and then I'll be at GeekCon, and maybe or maybe not Flow. What do we got coming up? We have AI Roundup episode 65 coming up tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. We have the Tech Bar, the St. Patty's edition, with David Son and Matthew Pincus of Helped. And we have MSP Dispatch on Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate every single one of you. We will be here more often than once every 4 months or 3 months. So
I think
we have a few guests
ish for live. And
yeah, we're
recorded in between.
And that's the thing I want to share. The goal is to generate some content pieces throughout the month, and then actually have the live show once a month to make it. And we're not going to stick it to a schedule. We'll do it once a month, but the date may change a little bit here or there just because of the varying schedules. But let us know. Do you want to see more stuff in the middle? Do you want to see what kind of content? You want to see more recipes, more workouts, whatever? Let us know. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave you with this. Take care of yourselves and each other.
Heavy things. Ugh.
So many heavy things.
This has been a broadcast of the MSP Media Network.